called red line.
You don't want to be going past that unless you're trying to blow your motor. So when you're driving stick, you gotta. Every car is different. Every car is different. You gotta learn.
This is the definition of banging gears. Hello and welcome to today's episode of Alpha TV. Today, we're all in for a treat, you and myself. Today, Mr. Flixxtopher is going to teach us how to drive stick, the proper way to drive stick. Now, Flixxtopher, you want to tell them the time you taught me?
So me and Ebby used to work valet, you know.
Good old, honestly,
good times.
Honestly, hands down, one of the greatest jobs of my whole career.
We used to drive some crazy cars, 911 turbos, Bentleys, all kinds of cars. So one day, we had a little Mazda 626, some little beater, and it was stick shift. So I was like, yo, Ebby, you know, everyone's inside, might as well teach you stick. And this man learned pretty quickly. He was a pretty fast learner. And he still remembers to this day, even though he don't drive stick daily. So
that's the problem. I've only driven stick cars like less than 3 or 4 times in my life.
Right.
So I don't. So also, let's say right now, let's apologize. He's gonna be teaching me. I'm not a master. I don't know all the terms. Please don't kill me. But I promise you will learn.
This is a pretty easy car to drive on. It's the Honda S2000. Clutch is very easy. Shifting is very smooth. This car is very hard to mess up stick on, so you might suck if you do. If you stall out on this car, you might suck at stick. Suck at stick.
All right, so before we continue any further, let's explain, I guess, a little basics about manual cars and what it is.
Sure. This is Flixxtopher's S2K owners and JDM King's driving academy.
Wonderful. So you see, first things first here, we have a steering wheel. I don't know if you know what this does but there are tires on the car. So when you turn it left, the wheels turn left. When you turn it right, the wheels turn right. It's really a great innovation. Now down below over here, there are...
I forgot to talk about reverse entries and...
Chill. And how to JDM it in case there's a... Well, that's the advanced course. Once you pay for this course, we'll teach you the advanced course. So down over here, we have 3 pedals, as you see. Normally, in an automatic car, there are 2 pedals. Just this one, the brake. This one, the gas. But on a manual car, there is a 3rd pedal. That is called the clutch. Now, essentially, every car has gears. So, let's say 1st gear, 2nd gear, 3rd gear, 4th gear, 5th gear, 6th gear. And then they'll have a reverse gear. So, the faster they go, the higher the gear that they need to go to. I'm not going to go too advanced. I'm not going to talk about CVTs. We're just going to break it down, right? Easy peasy. So now, essentially, to get the car moving, you have to use the clutch. And what the clutch is a tool that basically allows you to switch from one gear to another.
The clutch disengages the transmission from the rest of the car so that you can shift into the next gear up and you can continue going faster. Otherwise, you can always downshift. You can slow down by shifting. There's a lot of things you could actually do. Manual cars used to be better because you can actually force the most power out of it. But nowadays, automatic transmissions, you can't beat them. Computer and technology today is crazy, but
especially
shifting
with the new Porsche PDKs, and the BMW.
You can't beat an automatic transmission anymore. But it's just a different feeling, you know, shifting through the gears, just rolling through gears. You feel kind of like a Paul Walker in a sense, you know, like
great.
You just kind of feel like a real driver, you know. But yeah, let's go ahead and get right into it. We can see the S2000 is a 6-speed, so we have.
It's a little shiny. There we go.
You can see the gears are all 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and you can see that if you were to shift going up, like if you were to shift the car while you're driving, you're going in a certain order.
First gear, 2nd gear, 3rd gear, 4th gear, 5th gear, 6th gear.
And now if you're thinking, oh, what if I accidentally throw it in reverse?
Ready? I'm gonna go into the middle. This middle part here is neutral. Every car here is neutral. Now if I go all the way to the right and bring it down, that's actually not reverse. That's only 6th gear. Because usually most cars, there are some cars where it's not like this, but most cars, in order to get reversed, there's like a special feature that you have to do. Like certain like Mustangs, you gotta lift this. They have like a little feature here where you gotta lift this part up, and then that'll engage reverse. So then once you lift that part up and then you go all the way to the right and down, it'll go into reverse. For this car, it's actually the opposite. You're actually gonna push it down, and you can see that there's good play for it. So you're gonna push it down all the way to the right and back, and now you're in reverse gear. Now also notice that not every manual car is like this, in the sense of this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Sometimes reverse is over here, right next to second gear. Sometimes reverse is over here. Sometimes there's only 4 gears, 5. Sometimes there's 7. So don't just say, oh, how come my car is different? That's because every car is different.
But driving it is all the same. It doesn't matter if you have 7 gears or 4 gears. You're still gonna shift through them the same. Still gonna use the clutch the same. If we look at the dash right here, this is what you're gonna use.
You probably have a dial. You have a dial going back and forth. On one side it says miles per hour. So you got the miles per hour here, and the other side is your RPM, revolutions per minute. So instead of us having a dial that goes all the way down, we have a cool looking video game. And you'll also see towards the end of your dial, there's like a little red part at the bottom. And if you can see over here, after 8,000, it's red. That's called red line.
You don't want to be going past that unless you're trying to blow your motor. So when you're driving stick, you're able to tell when you need a shift, when you want to downshift, if you need to put the clutch in, all these different things, you can tell by where the RPMs are at. So this is something that you want to constantly keep an eye on. Once you do get a hang of your car, you can pretty much tell exactly when you want to need a shift just by the feel of driving it. Like I said, this car is very easy to drive, so there's a lot of space to shift at. This car wants you to redline it, but I drive it like a baby, so I'm shifting at 3-4 RPMs.
Well, it's a good thing it's not my car, and I'm not gonna drive it like a baby.
Let's get right into it then.
Great. So as you notice here, there is a handbrake here. So usually you got what I like to call from I got this from the Sweet Life of Zach and Cody, the Prindle. The Prindle is no longer here. There's no park, there's no reverse, there's no neutral, there's no drive. Here to park it, you got to leave it in neutral. You can't leave it in gear. What happens when you leave it in gear, Chris?
Well, you don't want to leave it in gear while the car is on. What you want to do is turn it off and then put it in first. That is if you don't trust your parking brake, or you're on a steep hill and you don't want to just leave it with the parking brake. You can leave it in first gear after the car is off, just to ensure that the car won't move. So
you turn the car off in neutral and then you pop it in first.
Yes.
But then I've heard stories of when people have remote start on their car, and if you leave it in gear and you turn the remote start on, a lot of times it'll go jump like that.
Yeah.
And it'll jerk. So you also got to be careful. But again, this is the basics course. So the basics, we have here neutral. So to put it in park, it's essentially having it in neutral and have the parking brake up. Now, I'm going to hold in the clutch right now. I'm going to take the parking brake off. Because it's in neutral, I don't need the clutch. And I'm not on the hill, I'm on the level ground, so it's not going to go backwards. But now if I want to go into any of these gears, I have to hold the clutch in, and I got to put it in first. Now, Chris, teach me now. How do I drive stick?
So, the clutch is going to be your main factor in telling how much gas you need to put, when you need to put it. As you're slowly letting off the clutch, when you're first learning, you'll feel the car start to pull forward on its own. It might vibrate a little, but that's because you're not giving it any gas.
So now I got to give it gas?
Now is when you will slowly start to put gas and get off the clutch completely, and you're moving. Now you are in first gear and you're driving. You don't have anything but your foot on the gas.
So now when do I go to second gear?
So we're driving pretty slow, so no need to shift up yet. But right then, once you're hitting higher RPMs, you would definitely want to go ahead and shift into second gear.
When do you think is like a good time to go?
If you're trying to save gas and, drive conservatively, typically around 3 to 5 RPMs, most people will go ahead and shift.
Chris, we're going to have to stop this video right now. Did you forget? Safety first, brother. Put on your seatbelt. Now my man's seatbelt is on, ready to go again. But see, now I'm in second. Can I start off on second?
No. Say you're slowing at a red light, right?
Yeah.
Say we got a red light right here, and you're coming to a slowing stop. And then that red light turns green. Then you could go ahead and put it in second and keep going because the car is already moving. But
right now we're at a full stop.
You don't want to really start the car in second gear and go. You could. It will work.
Can we Want me to try it?
Go ahead.
I don't want to.
It'll work.
Will it stall?
No.
No gas or gas?
No, you have to give it gas. Same as you're going in first. It will go, but it's not very good for your car.
Yeah. I don't. Yeah. Why would you want to do that?
Just start with first gear.
Just start with first gear. So I'm gonna stop right now. We're gonna go back to first. So we're in neutral here. We're gonna go back to first. And I think the most important thing that you have to learn with a manual car, and probably the hardest part, is getting off the clutch. Yeah. Getting off of first gear. I had a bike, and that's one of our hardest parts. And the problem with the bike is if you let go of the clutch, if you don't let go of the clutch quick enough, and you give it too much RPM, and then I let go of the clutch, you're gonna pop a wheelie on a bike. So you got to be very careful. That's why I feel like I'm too scared to over rev. So if I'm gonna give it, I gotta give it a little bit. So you gotta let go of the clutch and you gotta give it gas at the same time. And it's like that. Now
you're at 3,000 RPMs, right? You're coming around this turn. You want to shift up. You want to keep going faster.
What do I do?
You're gonna go ahead and put that clutch in.
All the way down?
All the way. Shift into second. Give it a little bit of gas because you were on the clutch too long. And then go ahead. Now your feet should be coming off the clutch and going down on the gas simultaneously. You don't want to go ahead and stomp on the gas while you're coming off the clutch. You want to slowly and simultaneously go down on the gas as you're coming up off the clutch. That will ensure smooth shifting, and it'll make sure that the car isn't jerking back and forth when you're trying to shift.
So again, the most important part is finding that engaging point of when it's gonna grip. So I'm not even gonna push on the gas. You're gonna see I'm gonna have my foot off. I just want to see when is it gonna roll. When is it gonna roll? So now I know over here is rolling. It's rolling. So right around here is when you push in the gas and you give it some more gas. You see that? And now I'm completely off the clutch. So that's what you just gotta sit and you gotta go in a parking lot like this. You just gotta find and you gotta get used to when are you gonna get that engaging point. When is it gonna start rolling? And then once it starts rolling, then you give it gas. And that it's really muscle memory.
And once you get that, shifting from second to third to fourth to fifth is all the same.
Easy. That's
after that.
The hardest part of manual is getting off of first gear. And I think the most hardest part is when you have traffic behind you. Because when I had a bike, I used to be so nervous. I'm like, oh my God, all these people are behind me. What happens if I stall out? And then I'll stall out. At the end of the day, you got to realize this is your car. Let them drive their own car. If you stall out, you stall out. If they honk at you, let them honk at you. You have to drive your car first. And then once you're professional, then you're still good to go. But even when I had a bike and I'm changing gears, are there times randomly I'm not paying attention, I'll stall out? Yeah, it happens, but this is all practice, this is all muscle memory. So now we're gonna take it on the street. We're gonna give it, well, first, I'm in first gear now, right? So I'm gonna let go of it. You see it's going a little bit, so I'm gonna give it gas.
Driving a car, if you get a manual car and you drive it for 1 week, you will feel a lot more confident. It is very, very easy. It's not a hard thing to do. It may seem intimidating at first, but it's very, very easy. There are other things like downshift, heel toe, other stuff that you can always learn as you get better.
I don't know if you noticed there, I'm still in second gear. I didn't even push, I almost pushed in the clutch, but I didn't push in the clutch. Because why? It's a little jerky, I could, but not really. I didn't come to a full stop. If I had come to a full stop, like I have a stop sign here, I have another car here, so I'm gonna come to a full stop. Here, I have to go to first gear because I have no choice.
You never want to throw it in first while you're moving.
Now, how do I get to the main road? Left or right?
Left.
That was a little, I didn't like that. That was a little, not good. But then, you can start banging gears soon. Oh, that was one of the worst shifts of my life. What was that? See, now, the last time I actually drove a manual car, this is a little high revving for me. It's a little loud, but it's okay. I was gonna knock it into third, but we got a stop sign. Ooh, see what I did there? I almost put it in first. Well, I could have technically because the clutch is still in. But once we come to a stop sign,
that's what we call the money shot. When you throw it in first and you're moving and your entire transmission just explodes. That is a money shot.
Oh, see, now I'm going backwards because we're on a hill. I'm letting the clutch out. I gotta let the clutch out. Give it more gas, give it more gas. Again, all of this is practice. People are gonna honk at you. You're gonna mess up. You're gonna stall.
The first week I had my car, not this car, but the first week I had my actual first manual transmission car, I probably stalled at least 5 or 6 times that week.
Yeah. Bro, can I tell you, I'm gonna tell you a story. This is a bike story. Sean was there actually. This is probably the first week I had my car, my bike. I'm lane splitting. I'm in the middle of the lanes. No one can go until I go because I'm an asshole and I cut in front of everybody. They're waiting for me to go, and of course the light turns green and I stall in front of everyone. Oh my god, oh man, this is what happens. You get too cocky, and it's just something you gotta live with, right? You just more practice, more memory. So finding that engaging point, learning when to shift. Now let's do a downshift. I'm in 4th right now, but if I want to go, you see, it's all the way down right now, and I want to give it more power.
You did not rev match, sir.
So what is that? What is rev matching?
Rev matching is you're a slow shifter. You be making sandwiches in the middle of your shifts.
Oh.
So what you need to do is give it a little bit of gas when you're coming off the clutch.
So hold on, I went to 4th, and I popped it to 3rd.
You want to hit the gas so that the RPMs will match up to where it needs to be.
Hold on.
And the car won't jerk.
See, this is where it gets a little nerve-wracking. You see there's a car behind me.
Ebby be making sandwiches, I swear. He flipping patties in here, bro.
That was an amazing shift. Did you guys just see that shift to 3rd? That was the most crispiest shift I've done. Ooh, nice and crispy. And you see, why am I going to 4th gear already? Well, because the higher gears you go, the more gas you save. I'm not like, there's nowhere for me to go, so I'm not going to bother. But let's just say all of a sudden I do need to overtake a car. I'm going to downshift to 3rd because it's a lower gear, it's going to give me more power. So now teach me the ways of rev matching.
All right, so you want to downshift, you want to go.
Yeah.
You got to shift into 3rd,
Yeah.
tap that gas, and go.
Quick though.
Yeah, it has to be a little bit quicker.
How was that?
Better, but you need to get on the gas before you come off the clutch.
That was a beautiful. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just the.
This car is easy to drive.
Yeah,
That's
no.
The S2000's like an SI, buddy.
No, when I said all my third gear to 4th gear shifts are beautiful.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. Maybe it's like some cars and certain transmissions are like that, where your first gear is very hard to get off of, but the rest of it's easy. That was like that for my bike. First gear was very hard, but the rest of it was like an idiot can do. This one, 2nd to 3rd and 3rd. 2nd to 3rd is still a little hard for me. So right now I'm in 4th again. How do I get to 3rd?
You're in 4th.
Yep.
You're gonna step on the clutch.
All the way down.
Put it into 3rd.
Yep.
Rev it up to 6K, and then get off the clutch.
So what? You want me to rev it at 6?
Yes.
While the clutch is still in?
Yes.
Oh, really? That's what you're supposed to do?
That's how you rev match. You gotta. Every car is
was
different.
scared.
Every car is different. You gotta learn where your RPMs are at when you shift, where your RPMs will want to match at when you downshift.
See,
That's all things you have to learn so that when you do it yourself, you know exactly where to rev it up to, exactly when to shift, exactly how much gas you need to give. You know.
I always thought I was gonna blow the engine like that.
Not you. That's what rev matching is. You gotta match what because the car is gonna rev.
Can we just acknowledge that beautiful red light first gear pull? Oh, and then acknowledge that terrible 2nd gear transition. Oh, beautiful, beautiful, crispy. Wow, I like it.
This car is gonna take a break for a week after this. It's gonna go in the garage. I'm gonna take the Camry for the week.
Why? Because I put too much damage?
No, I'm just messing. If I'm driving, I'm a considerate and safe driver. So I'm going into 5th, into 6th, and I'm cruising.
I'm not considerate. I'm not a considerate driver. But there is one thing I want to know. I want to make a U-turn.
It really depends on your situation. Like I said, if you're still moving, you can always go into 2nd and make that U-turn. You just got to watch your RPMs and your miles per hour. If you're going less than 7 miles an hour and your RPMs are starting to dip, go ahead and get on the clutch.
Now, the only time I stalled this car after you bought it is one time, and that was in reverse.
And I bought the car yesterday, so.
So I do want to try right now we're in fourth, and we're going 26 miles an hour. We're still good?
Yeah.
This is still good?
Yeah.
I like
no need for the clutch. No need. Just stay on the gas.
But you see right now, if I floor it, it's not going anywhere. So I'm gonna... Ladies and gentlemen, I'm a performance race car driver. You know I've been driving stick for like 10 years now? Just kidding. But that's how I feel. But like, look at that. That's not enough power. I need more power. Can I go to 4? Or is that no? Am I gonna blow it?
No, I mean you won't have any space to like
run it. Pedal to the metal. Let's get it, baby. Alright, I'm gonna slow down. So like, I don't know if you saw there, my foot was hovering over the clutch because I'm so used to driving a bike, and when we ride a bike, we pull on the clutch. But in cars like this, you don't need to hold on the clutch unless you're changing the gears or you're getting off that first gear. How do you feel about that run?
I feel like you're getting better by the second. Your teammate rating went from C- to B+.
B+? I would consider myself a B.
Shout out 2K, give me some VC.
Okay, look, I'm still in what? Is that 5th I'm in?
Yeah.
I think I'm in 5th. And it's getting a little jerky, but it's fine. It's fine. Now I want to see if I can pop a UE here. So now, yeah, I'm gonna. Ooh. See, now this is. I'm gonna go to 3rd. Wasn't too bad. Now that I know like what rev matching is, it wasn't too bad. But now it looks like I am gonna have to come to a full stop here, or not. I can just go to 2nd. God damn. See, I was trying to make the back end pop out. Wasn't enough power. Looks like you gotta do that in 3rd. Any other tips or tricks you have for us in the manual game?
I mean, that's pretty much it. Just drive your car, be confident when you drive, give it a week, driving that car for a week, and you'll be 10 times more confident.
I do have a question for you. I'm at a red light. Do you leave it in neutral? Do you leave it in first gear?
Yes, sir. No. I leave it in neutral. If you leave it in first gear, you never know. Someone might hit you. You might let off the clutch by accident. You're gonna wear out your clutch. You're gonna wear out the gear. Like I said, this car is going into rest for a month now. This car has not seen this action for 60,000 miles, and now
an old man used to drive this car.
And now this car is getting the beating of a lifetime.
I mean, it's good. Sometimes you need to, you need to smack that. You know what I mean? But don't worry, we're G-rated, so no. So right now I'm in 6th. Can I leave it to 6th? Let's see when the car starts like acting up a little bit. Let's see. See, now here's the thing. If I had this car rear-wheel drive, I would literally do that every single day.
Yep.
At least 5 times a day, I'm doing that. Okay, it's starting to get a little shaky. Let's see. I'm in 6th gear. It's not too bad. I expected worse. If this was a bike, it would be... I had a Yamaha R6, by the way, in case you're wondering. This is a right turn only? Left? What am I doing?
We're right.
Oh, we're going to be right. Okay. I'm actually pretty impressed. I'm in 6th gear, going 19 miles an hour, and it's not stuttering. I'm going to hold in the brake. Wow. 10, 12, 13 miles an hour is when it starts. That is pretty impressive. Pretty impressive. Now, can you teach me how to drift?
That'll be on the advanced course. You gotta sign.
You gotta pop out the clutch. You gotta like pop the clutch?
I'm still taking the course myself. Actually.
You gotta get that course from Mr. Dan Abraham, huh?
Facts. Shout out Dan Abraham. 5-0 Beasley.
I think I accidentally shifted it to 5th instead of 3rd. This happens. See, this is the problem. One thing you gotta learn when you drive a manual car is, you see how cocky I got in a matter of like 10 minutes? Like, oh, all of a sudden I didn't know how to drive manual. Now all of a sudden I'm banging gears. You gotta relax. Like, I just went from second to fifth. Why? Because I was being cocky and I was being aggressive. Like, you need to relax. Go from second to third. Take your time. Drive it for a month, and then you won't be an idiot like me. But luckily, I'm so thankful that at least you can't go into reverse. Oh, we didn't show the reverse gear. You guys want to see me stall? We're about to show you. Let me use the reverse gear.
Y'all want to see a transmission pop out the hood?
How much is a clutch? How often do you have to replace the clutch?
Ejecto clutcho, cuz. Probably I would say every 30,000 to like 50,000 miles. You know, you check on your clutch, and usually that's when the clutch starts wearing down.
So basically, right now you're gonna replace the clutch.
No, yeah.
So we made it back to our parking lot, and I think you're about to watch me stall. At least it looks like. I think we're on a downhill right now. Let's see if I let out the clutch.
No, just get off the gas. I mean the brake. You're not on the brake right now, right?
Oh right. See, I forgot. I'm in neutral. I can let it go. Okay, it looks like even ground. So it's not flat. It's not uphill. It's not downhill.
Go over there. Reverse over there.
No, first I want to do it here.
Oh.
I want to learn on even ground. Remember, I told you there's usually a special way for each car to engage reverse. So this one, you got to push it down all the way to the right, back. And it feels, there was like a boom, boom. It was like a little notch to get into reverse. So you know it's a different. Surprisingly, there's no other like reverse indicator. But it's going to be the same thing, but I don't know why. For me, it's a little bit more difficult. Got to let out the clutch, see when it engages. Engages now. So then, whoa, what was that? So why did that happen?
Well, you don't need to give a lot of gas on reverse. You could just kind of ride the clutch, you know?
Why was it jerky like that?
You probably let off the clutch too much.
Too soon? Or
No, too much. Like, you don't have to let off the clutch in reverse. Because unless you're, like, really trying to speed in reverse, you know? Like, you're going to usually just crawl in reverse, right?
Yeah.
So,
like this speed?
Yeah, you don't need to get all the way off the clutch. You don't even need it to give it gas most of the time, you know?
So this is, oh wow, this is actually pretty fast. I'm going 4 miles an hour.
Best trick, if you're on a hill, pull the e-brake up, come off the clutch until the engaging point. You're at the engaging point.
I'll do it.
Start giving it gas. And then put the e-brake down. That way you won't roll forward, you won't roll back, you know, whichever way you're facing.
Tricks of the trade, huh? So you don't need your foot on the brake. Just go backwards and then you... Look at that! I'm a professional race car driver. That's a good trick. So you just go, you pull it up, then slowly let it out, and then you slowly give it gas, and that's it. Not bad! That was a good tip. Good tip. So what happens when, do all manual cars have a mechanical handbrake?
Nah, not even. Some, you know, there's definitely cars that have the electric one, but it's the same. Just pull it up, pull the e-brake up, figure out where the engaging point is, start giving gas, and then put the e-brake down and go.
So now, let's say I've arrived at my destination, I'm done. It's in neutral. Pop the handbrake. Now I can let go of the clutch. Now the car's in place.
Gas off. And if you really want to be safe, step on the clutch one more time in first, and then you can go ahead and get out the car. Just make sure before you start up the car again, make sure that you put it back into neutral.
Or you can just hold. I always like hold the clutch in.
Keep
the. That's a habit. Honestly, I think you should form.
That's something that people forget because it'll be in first, and you have to step on the clutch to start the car. But then they'll come off the clutch thinking it's in neutral, and the car will jump and stall.
I've seen a YouTuber do that, and he crashed his car into his house.
Dang.
Yeah. But yeah, that's it for today. I hope you had some fun. Most importantly, because what's learning without having fun? This is the first beginner's course. If you'd like, we also have an advanced course. After we will replace this clutch, he's going to teach me how to drift. And we'll teach you how to drift.
And we're going to go tandem drifting.
I like it. Let's do it. I hope you had some fun. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers. So if you haven't subscribed yet, go smash that subscribe button. Go join the family. My name is Avery Geese.
Hit the bell. Get notified when we post. Come on now.
What's your name?
Holla at me, Flixxtopher. Follow me on Instagram. I ain't DJ D-Pack. I ain't be shouting my Instagram, plugging it up like that. But follow me.
Low key humble. I appreciate
We're
that.
out here, Gotta keep the S2 on the low,
I like that.
That's all.
It's been fun. It's been real. See you later.
Oops.